I know you like to fast forward through the intros, but please check this one out because there's some important stuff I really have to tell you. What's up, Clue Dots? Well, so the important stuff I need to tell you. This video today is so fun. It's a mystery box challenge. So each person in this challenge was chosen to send a mystery box of 3 items minimum that the next person must use in their video to create projects with. And a few of us, well, all of us threw in a few extra items too, just to make it fun. And what's really cool about this, not only is that you get to see how fun it is and what we come up with, but we also have a $50 cash prize, and all you have to do to enter to win it is comment on my video and every person's along the way, because I will have a link below that's going to send you to who I sent my box to, and then they will have a link to the person they sent their box to. So there's 5 or 6 videos in this, and if you go through each one, comment and like, that will enter you for a $50 cash prize. You don't want to miss that. I did a little filming of my unboxing, and I started out and totally forgot to check my sound. So my sound wasn't on the first time and when I started. So anyway, you'll see. But check it out and see the fun stuff that I got and the fun stuff I made with it. And don't forget to check the link below to see the next person's projects. Ooh, and by the way, the drawing will be held Tuesday, May 25th, so keep your eyes checking the community tab for any one of our videos and see if you're the winner. Okay, you guys, I'm so excited. I got this package in the mail, and I was so excited to show it to you all that I completely forgot to put my microphone on. So this is why it looks like you're watching one of those old King Kong movies with the mouth and the words not matching. But I don't know who sent it to me. It's part of our mystery box challenge, and I'm super excited to open it up and see who it's from and what kind of goodies I got. So let's check it out and see what's in there. Okay, so I realized my sound wasn't on, so I have to start from here. All right, so the first thing feels like some, oh my gosh. Oh, and these are please use. I love these stickers. I almost bought these and I didn't get them. This is awesome. So these are like the, what do you call it? Rose gold flower puffy stickers. Cool, we're off to a good start. Let's see, I feel like a little box thing. Oop. I think this looks like it. Oh, another please use item. So it looks like this was glued on here and came off, but we have the technology to fix this. So, and you know, you never know, I may use these separate after all. So please use. So these are my two of my please. So what we did is the rules were that 3 items had to be must use for the DIY, and then you could put in extra items if you wanted to. So let's see, what is that? Some black ribbon. Oh, this is a please use too. Look at me, I pulled all the please uses out first. So my please uses are black ribbon, this little box thingy-majiggy, and my little stickers here. So the wheels are already turning. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but we'll find out. All right, let's see what other goodies I've got. Okay, so, oh, cute. These little love cut out, what do you call them? Laser cut craft words, and they're love ones with the little key. I don't know if that's focused or not, but those are so cute. There's a lot of things I could do with those. And then, oh yes! I actually almost bought this and I didn't get it. I swear, this girl is in my head. I don't even know who my person is yet, but she is in my head because I love this one and I wanted to get these and I didn't get it either. So it's a good thing I didn't buy stuff. What is that? Ah, clothespins. All right, clothespins. There's always something to do with clothespins. So many great DIYs. Oh, I feel the paper for who it's from. And one other thing feels like ribbon. Cute. Okay, and some black and white grosgrain ribbon. grosgrain ribbon. Actually, I don't know why I always have a problem saying that. What do you call it? Not grosgrain. What do you call this? Buffalo check. Buffalo check ribbon. So cute. Let's see who this mystery person is that sent me all of this stuff. My note says, hey, hope you like your items and find them easy to use. I tried not to make it too difficult. Happy crafting, Shayna. Cool. Well, I don't think it's going to be too difficult. She went pretty easy on me. I mean, she could have sent me like a toilet plunger or something, who knows, or some, I don't know, cat toys or something. So cool. Let's see what I'm going to get into and do with these. But I wanted to share the opening with you all. Well, my first must use or please use piece is this little box here. You get these at Dollar Tree. So when I got it, it had actually come apart. So it was already broken, which I thought, okay, well, I'm going to make it work from that. So I'm going to start by removing the paper over here, because in that way it prevents me from having to sand off this glitter and all that. It just will give me a nicer surface right from the get-go. All right, and then I'm going to also use a little bit of sandpaper. If I can't get this off, I'm gonna try first and peel this off too. Oh, this might come off. Or maybe not. Nope, I'm gonna use some sandpaper, sand off that glitter. And on this back part, there's a little excess paper and stuff from it having broken away from its backing. So I'm gonna sand and remove any of those little pieces too. Now I'm gonna take my cleaned off pieces and paint them, and I'm gonna use this Waverly white chalk paint, and I'm gonna add a little bit of this apple barrel black into it because I wanna do more of a gray color. You can do whatever color will fit your decor. Now, if you'd like to, which I usually do, you can spray paint this instead of painting it by hand. I mean, you do get a smoother look when you spray paint than you do when you brush it on. You don't have any brush strokes. While I'm waiting on those pieces to dry, I'm going to use some of this pearl wrap, which it's actually the silver, not the pearl itself. And I have cut a piece long enough to go around this whole piece here. What I'm going to do is cut off just one single strand of that, and I'm cutting it as close to the bead as possible so that I don't end up with those little pieces of string sticking out. I think it just looks much cleaner and nicer if the string is not sticking out. And then using my glue gun, I'm going to go around and glue this around the whole side of this piece here. I'm going to go through now and do the same thing, gluing this little trim around here and around the bottom part here of my little box. Now I have this piece and I have this piece. We're going to be gluing these together and gluing this part onto the back here. Next, I'm going to be using these little 1-inch square mirrors that I ordered from Amazon. I will see if I can leave a link below. If not, you can find them at your local Michael's, or they're readily available, so you'll be able to find them. And figure out a design that looks good to you, however you want to place them, and then get those glued down. I think this adds a really nice touch in here. For this, I'm actually going to be using some E6000 because I don't think the hot glue will stay stuck to this back of the mirror since it's so smooth. If you want to use a dot of hot glue just to hold it until the E6000 dries, you can do that. And to give a finishing touch to this, I'm going to be taking some of these pearls that I found at Dollar Tree, and they're the ones, if you haven't seen them yet, they don't have any hole through them, which is really cool. And I'm also going to be using some of these pony beads that are also at Dollar Tree. And what I'm going to be doing is just gluing to make some little feet for my little stand, and put a little dot of glue right in the middle of my bead, and then take one of my runaway pearls and glue it right on top of that. So you make a cute little, it can be a foot for it, it can be a handle, like if you have a little drawer and you need a drawer pull. So these are really, really cute. You're gonna make 4 of those, which I've already gone ahead and done. I've got my pearls rolling around everywhere. And I have these 4 little feet, and I'm going to glue these right onto the 4 corners of my box. Once I get that all done, we're finished with this project, and I'm going to show it to you. For this DIY, I have to use, it's a please use item, is this faux leather ribbon, and this one's in black. So racked my brain here, but what I've come up with, we're going to be using one of these. I think this is just the bottom of the container of one of these round boxes. I couldn't tell you exactly the size. Well, I'm lying. I could tell you exactly the size. I can measure it and tell you. This one is the 3.5 inch diameter, slightly over 3.5 inch diameter round runaway container. So I am just going to use the bottom part of this, and I'm going to cut this ribbon here. What I did is measure around the diameter here and cut the piece. Now I've measured it out exactly to the amount that I need, so it's going to be quite a tight squeeze there. But what I've done here ahead is cut out 5 strips of 12 inches long each. So I'm going to start out with one of those pieces. What I'm going to do is just put a little bit of glue right at the edge of it, not too far in, and you'll see why shortly, but right here at the edge. And I'm going to glue that right here to the top edge of my container. And I'm going to be doing that with each one of my strips here, lining them up and gluing them down, so they should be covering the whole container. Now this one is a little thicker. I guess when I measured it out initially, I thought they were going to match up perfectly. Unfortunately, they don't. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but I'm just going to have to make it work, guys. This is part of crafting, I guess, and that's the way it goes. Okay, once you have those all glued on, our next step is going to be to take our strips here, and we're going to be cutting them just enough to go right past the top edge there and right past the bottom edge there, so we can have a way of gluing these down. So you don't, because it's such a tight squeeze on this with how much is available, like I only have 1 roll. If you have more than 1 roll, you don't have to worry about it. You can put excess and have plenty to fold down inside and underneath. But I only have my 1 roll to work with, and I'm gonna just barely go to the amount that I need to be able to tuck it. I'm going to cut the rest of my roll into these little pieces. Now we're going to go through and take these little strips and glue them into place, just barely covering the tip there of those other ones, just enough so it looks that they're under there, but they actually will not be. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue here at the top and tuck that piece down in there. We're only going to be gluing the top part at this point, and what we're going to be doing in between that is I have these little stir sticks that I got, and you can buy these at Smart and Final or anywhere, I think, but they're these little 1/4 inch stir sticks, wooden stir sticks. And we're going to be using those in between the strips of our ribbon here. So each spacing that you're going to be gluing your next ribbon will have the space of that stick in between it. So you want to use that kind of as a marker to know where to glue your next one. So what you will have, you're going to go all the way around and glue, and you're going to have a space like that, which will be just enough space for your wood piece here. This is how it's looking so far, But I'm actually going to take a little pause here to go to the next step because this takes a little bit of time to do, and our next step has a little bit of painting involved. We want to give our paint some time to dry. So while we're finishing this up, our paint will be drying. So I'm going to set this aside for a few minutes, and I'm going to take my little stir sticks here that I said, and what I'm going to do is give them a little bit of a stain to kind of a brownish color. You can do, well, actually maybe I'll do a gray color. I haven't really tried that, so let's do gray. Why not? And in order to make the gray, I'm going to use some of this Apple Barrel black paint. It doesn't have to be Apple Barrel, it can be any brand you'd like. I'm going to put a little bit of that in my little container here. And then I'm going to add some water to this and really water it down so that I can still see the wood grain through, but not fully paint it, just more like a stain. So you do want a pretty good amount of water. So it's just, you can see it's just giving a hint of that kind of gray color to the wood. And try and make sure you pick straight sticks because that's going to be really important in this process. The very, very ends of your sticks are going to get cut off because we do need a straight edge there. So if you don't get it all the way to that very edge, it's not a big problem. Okay, so I'm going to put these aside and let them dry while I go wash my hands, rinse my brush, and then we're going to get back to continuing to glue that ribbon around our box. By now you should have all of your pieces glued on around like this, kind of looking like a spider at this point, and then your 5 pieces there. Your sticks should be dry, so we're going to start by cutting the straight edge on one of them. You can do them all initially if you want to. What we're going to do to start is we're going to be weaving these like a basket weave, and you're going to start out with your piece right here. What I'm going to do is flip this one piece over here, and I'm going to add some hot glue to the top part of my stick, and I'm going to glue that piece right up against the edge there of my box. Now you're going to want every other one to be out, so probably should have done that first. You're going to glue that top part down, and then the bottom part of the stick, you're going to cut it even with the edge of your box. Try and be careful initially not to cut your ribbon. And then we're going to be gluing that down too. Now we're going to be doing the opposite with the pieces of ribbon that are sticking out here. It's basically just a regular old basket weave. So we're just going to go basically over, under, over, under. And then we're going to be alternating to the next piece here, which is going to then be a stick. It does make it a lot easier if your ribbon is not hanging down further like this one is past the edge. So I may go around and trim that because it is making it a bit challenging, because normally what I would be doing right now is pressing this down and gluing this piece of ribbon down as well. But because I have this excess here, it's making it a bit harder. So let me go ahead and trim that just to make my life a bit easier. Let's go back here. So I flip the two out of the way so that I can glue down the ribbon. Then make sure I pull everything snug again. And then I'm going to pull the opposing ones up and out of the way so that I can put the stick down. And this I found to be the easiest way, and I pre-cut the sticks instead of doing them one at a time and in place, so you'll find your own rhythm, whatever works best for you. Then again, we will be flipping the two out of the way, putting the one down and gluing it, and just kind of carrying on like that. So we're going to keep alternating. I'm going to show you a little more of this as I go, but you want to keep everything pretty snug. Okay, so we're coming in the home stretch here. I'm down to my last one. This may be a bit tricky, may not, it depends. When I did this with regular ribbon, it was actually pretty easy. Let's see how this one goes. So I wanted to show you a little tip for something I do, because these two, I got off kilter here on which ones were supposed to be which, and now this is glued down. So instead of just trying to pull it off, so many times I have had to reposition things, and having this hot air blower gun really is great, because you can just heat up your hot glue again and reposition things as you need to, and that just makes it so much nicer than ripping apart projects. And that was the last one, and I'm going to get to my next project and then I will show you this one all finished as well. If you like what you're seeing so far, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you would do differently, or if you have any suggestions for this, because I would love to hear. And join our Glue Dot family if you'd like to see more. I'd love it if you follow me on social media as well. So right down here are all the places you can find me. So my last please use item are these floral stickers in the rose gold. And this one really stumped me, but I think I've come up with something. I'm going to be taking these stickers and also using 2 of these napkin holders and creating some organizational piece that you can use either for note cards or various things. So let's get to it first and see what I came up with. So these stickers come with a little puffy sticker on the back to help raise it up, and I'm going to remove that little piece off. Next, I'm going to take my napkin holders and I'm going to choose different flowers to put on them in different locations. Now, one of the things I like to do when I do this is actually have some hang off the edge and cut them off so that it looks kind of a little more free and not so, I don't know, planned out? I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. So, for example, this one here, sticking off the edge a little bit, I'm going to sort of cut that straight line so that it lines up just like that. And same with this one here. I think it just gives a little less planned design to things, and it a little, do you guys know what I'm talking about? I think so. I hope so. Because apparently I don't. All right, so I'm going to glue those down into place with my hot glue, and I want to make sure that they're really glued down, especially around all those edges, but I don't want that glue to stick out. So now we're going to do this to one side of one and one side of the other, not both sides, just one of each side. I've got both of these done, and you can see that I used one of the pieces that I cut from here. I just put it somewhere else on an edge, so you don't have to feel worried that you're going to be wasting anything. Now at this point, if you like this color, you can go ahead and kind of leave them like this. I'm going to actually take mine outside and give it a spray painting. I think I'm going to do white, but you know, stick around and see what I end up doing, because God only knows. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I did not paint the underneath side of these so you can see that it sort of shows. We are going to be putting these together in such a way that one of them is going to be facing up. So if you want to spray paint that area, you can. If you want to, you can cut out a piece of paper to cover that. And what I'm going to first do is take a piece of scratch paper and create a template, and I'm just going to put that on top of here and find the shape, rub it until I get the shape of the bottom of this piece. And then what I'm going to just do is cut that piece out, but slightly inside the line that my fold made, because obviously we need to make it a little smaller so it fits in here. So I'm following around the same shape as my line that my little fold lines, but I'm, as I said, going just in a little bit from those lines. And you're probably going to need to make some adjustments. So here's my piece, I'll put it in there. I see that I need to make a little bit of adjustment because it does not fit perfectly in there, so I'm just going to do that. What I'm going to do is use this piece of paper as a template so that my decorative paper, I don't have to waste a lot of it and keep trial and error. I'm going to be using this paper, and I think I really like this. Well, I know I really like this blue turquoisey section, so I'm going to use that, and I'm going to flip it over on the back side. I'm just trying to figure out what part of it I want to use. I'm going to flip that over on the back side, which is also, for this one, is also decorative paper, and I'm going to trace it out and cut it. Now I'm just going to glue this piece onto the surface here. You can use school glue, Mod Podge, pretty much anything you want, even some hot glue. I'm going to, out of curiosity, I'm going to try this spray adhesive from Dollar Tree. So we'll see how it works. It kind of looks like Mod Podge and school glue, that watery. So jury's out on this. I want to see how it sticks, but it is pretty watery, so just keep that in mind if you do decide to try it. Okay, one of our final steps now here is to put these two together. You can put them together just without glue, or you can glue them, but I am putting them together just like that, where they can make this little stand. Basically, we're adding glue to the two sides that don't have flowers. And then we're going to put that together. It's easier to stand it up to make sure they're even. And then we can use this piece. I'm going to show you decorative and practical uses for this, so make sure you watch all the way through and I'll show you how this looks. Don't forget also to check out the link to see the person's crafts that they made with the mystery items that I sent to them. You'll find that right down below.